To gather and itemize the government's accomplishments from mid-last year to date, a three-part pre-State of the Nation fora kicked off and hashed over the achievements that have obtained economically, and in particular those completed projects in infrastructure, flood and disaster mitigation, transport and traffic management programs. PTV's Mark Vitalco has the details on today's preparatory State of the Nation forum and what's in store for the next SONA on July 10 in this report.
The government boasted its accomplishments for the past 3 years in the first pre-SONA Forum on Economic and Infrastructure Cluster. Finance Secretary Carlos Dominguez highlighted the economic growth for the first 11 quarters of the Duterte administration. Inclusive economic growth is made even brighter by the deceleration of the country's inflation rate. Dominguez assured of the government's measures as they remain consistent with their mandate on price stability.
At the halfway mark of the first term of the Duterte administration, the expectations have been met and the promises have been kept. Robust economic growth continues to gain momentum. Massive investments in our economy's competitiveness continue to be made.
Dominguez also asserted the importance of the implementation of Train Law in funding the government's programs such as the universal health care. For the next 5 years, an estimated 1.4 trillion pesos is needed for the program. Currently, they can only fund 1 trillion pesos and hope to raise the remainder from the additional tobacco taxes and higher excise taxes on alcohol. During the open forum, the cabinet secretaries answered some of the most important questions, such as those on the US-China trade war, the national ID system, and more.
We really have to catch and absorb all these investments that will be transferring, hopefully, from China and the other affected countries.
We are fast-tracking the implementation of the ID system. We are now in the stage of procuring the different technologies that are needed, such as the automated biometric information system.
Still under the economic cluster, the Secretary of Finance said they have signed concessional loan agreements, mostly to fund projects under the Build program. These include the completion of more than 4,000 flood mitigation structures, almost 10,000 kilometer roads, and over 2,000 bridges. The mass transport projects in progress include the Metro Manila Subway, MRT-7, Clark International Airport, LRT-2 Masinag Extension with more in the pipeline, all of which aim to make a huge dent in solving the problem in heavy traffic and road congestion, and ultimately ease each and everyone's commute. Regarding President Duterte's promise to lessen the travel time from Cubao to Makati to 5 minutes,
rest assured, this dream of EDSA is not a dream. It's come from the point of inevitability. We will decongest EDSA. And with regards to the 5 minutes, the Skyway from Makati to Quezon City, you can get there in 5 minutes, and we'll be delivering 90% of that by this year.
Transportation Secretary assured that they are doing their best to meet their target dates of completion for these projects.
Originally, before, when you have a project, you do 8 hours to 10 hours. Now we are doing 24/7.
Executive Secretary Salvador Medialdea is also present in the forum. Meanwhile, another session will be held on July 10 in Cebu to discuss the Human Development and Poverty Reduction Cluster, while on July 17 in Davao City will host the Climate Change and Security Cluster. Mark Vitalco for The Nation.
Beyond the headlines,
it's news with a different perspective.
Before the day ends,
For events that shape our views and impacts the world around us.
we keep you up to speed.
With Richmond Cruz and Charms Espina. PTV News Headlines, your comprehensive nightly news source, only here.